Greetings and welcome back to this next installment of Friday Fueling 5, brought to you by Sweet Ransom Diversity Consulting, and I am Robin Sweet Ransom. Are you ready for an energy boost? Do you need some fuel after this long work week? Well, if so, you have come to the right place. Look at the beautiful beach ambiance. Can't you just imagine yourself here listening to the waves, feeling the sun on your face? Well, imagine you're there as I take you through today's topic for the week. All right, enjoy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? No, I'm just kidding. We are starting our new series, leading with what would you do? Some real life situations that you may encounter. And I want you to consider the question, what would you do? All right. So here's our first scenario. Your best employee suddenly starts underperforming. Picture this. You have an employee who has always been dependable. They meet deadlines. In fact, they get you things ahead of the deadline. They show up, get the work done, and you've never really had to worry about them. In fact, you're grooming them to replace you. But lately, something has changed. They've missed a couple of deadlines without explanation, besides they forgot or they didn't have all the information, but you sense that there's more to it than that. Their work isn't quite as sharp. Maybe they seem distracted, disengaged, or just off. What would you do? Would you immediately start documenting the performance problem? Perhaps. Would you assume or believe that they've just gotten too comfortable and now they're becoming lax in their work productivity? Or would you start shifting their responsibilities to someone else? Again, what would you do? Well, before you do any of that, here are three things I want you to consider. Tip number one, get curious before you get critical. When someone has a history of strong performance and suddenly begins slipping, don't ignore the change, but don't automatically assume the worst either. Something may have changed, and your job is to try to figure out what. It could be something happening at work, it could be something happening personally, it could even be burnout. Heck, it could even be you. Maybe they feel like you're putting too much on them. Your job isn't to pry into their personal life. Your job is to notice that something is different and create an opportunity for a conversation. Okay? Tip number two, address the change, not their character. There's a big difference between saying you become unreliable, which is speaking to their character, and saying, I've noticed that you've missed a couple of deadlines recently, and that's unusual for me. Excuse me, for you. Help me to understand what's going on, right? This one deals with the change, right? The first attacks the person, the second addresses the behavior. And when you focus on what you're actually observing instead of labeling the employee, you make it much easier to have a productive conversation. You make them feel comfortable sharing with you what they need to in order to address the change in productivity. Tip number three, support them without ignoring accountability. Having empathy doesn't mean lowering every expectation. You can care about what someone is going through and still be clear about what the job requires. Maybe they need temporary flexibility. Maybe priorities need to be adjusted. Maybe they simply need to know you notice and that you're willing to help. But whatever you decide, establish what needs to happen next. Support and accountability can coexist at the same time. So here's your Friday Fuel in 5. Before you label a good employee as a performance problem, find out whether you're actually looking at a good employee who is having a problem. Oftentimes, you may find that it's personal and they're distracted because of that. And then you ask them, what do you need from me? Maybe they need some time off work. Maybe they need a couple days. Maybe they need a week. Maybe they need more. Right? Find out what they need from you, and then that will let you know how you can act. Sometimes, remember, the best leadership response isn't correction first, it's conversation first. And if your leaders could use help navigating difficult employee conversations before they become bigger workplace problems, that's exactly the kind of work we do here at SRD Consulting.
Did you get the fuel and the boost that you needed? Good. And whenever you need more of a workplace tune-up, you know what to do. Jump on over there to sweetransomdiversity.com, where we drop something fresh and new just for you. See you soon.
It's wonderful to work with people, right? Whether you're in the medical field or whether you're in the corporate world, we need each other to make things go smoothly, right? And it's wonderful when collaboration leads to results. But what happens when we're no longer collaborating, but we are in conflict, right? Do we just walk away and hope that avoiding conflict changes things? Well, at SRD, we help teams turn everyday tensions into opportunities for collaboration, stronger communication, and better results. Because when conflict is handled well, it doesn't divide teams, it strengthens them. So what's going on in your workplace? Are you having problems with communicating effectively with your team? If so, give us a call, because we want to help you to turn that conflict into collaboration and, yes, cash. See you soon.